Potbellies are often favored for entertainment in the ring. They are loved for their cute looks. Some extra skills like belly rubbing and dancing may generate some extra affection from their audience, but they are hardly considered fight favorites. However, in heavyweight fights, one punch can change everything. Time after time, these flabby guys have proven their worth by flat knocking out their muscular opponents. They have shown how they can upset any match if they have good timing, fortitude, and flexibility. This video is the second part of our series on flabby beasts knocking out muscular beasts. Let's watch some more amazing moments from different bouts and see how these chubby cheeks exceeded expectations and turned the table. The fight between Kang Ji-won and Paul Elliott was a barn burner in the true sense of the word. Elliott, with his 4 victories, looked fitter and ready. Both fighters were teeing off at each other when the fight started and exchanged heavy hooks from close distance. One blocked Elliott's high right kick and responded with a quick, straight left, but barely missed. Elliott then used his hands to close the distance and position one near the cage. However, the South Koreans landed the more explosive right hand in the exchange, which proved fatal. A knock of Paul Elliott in 58 seconds was shocking. Besides huge applause from the audience, Kang Ji-won bags a $50K bonus as well. But wait until you watch one of the biggest upsets of boxing history. Andy Ruiz was a massive underdog entering the fight. Many regarded Ruiz as nothing more than a replacement who stood little to no chance against the heavily favored Joshua. But Ruiz turned it the other way, and the fight became memorable as one of the greatest upsets in heavyweight boxing. The fight took a slow start. Things picked up pace in the third round, where both fighters attempted knockouts. Rounds 4, 5, and 6 were minor exchanges between Ruiz and Joshua. With 2 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in round 7, Ruiz knocked over Joshua once again with a short sequence of heavy blows. Joshua still managed to get back on his feet once again and was able to engage Ruiz briefly before being floored for a 4th and final time. Like a battered soldier, Joshua walked somewhat unsteadily back to his corner, where the referee found him disoriented and hesitant to continue the match, leading to the end of the fight. The heavy blows from Ruiz knocked out Joshua and everyone who considered him an underdog. After a brilliant knockout, Big Country's belly rubs never failed to impress the audience. In this bare-knuckle event, Nelson took a lot of punishment to get to the finish. The dissimilarity of the fighter's physique makes the fight special. While Nelson was no longer heavier and chubbier, Kleckler looked like a true fighter. With his well-built body and 11 victories, he was a fight favorite for obvious reasons. On the other hand, Nelson had not won a fight in 6 years. Kleckler was not only in shape, but had the speed and fitness to outclass Big Country. He repeatedly throws some sharp and diverse punches at Nelson as the fight starts, who was staggered after taking several hard punches. Then the fight turned the other way when Nelson's right hand took Kleckler's legs out from under him. With a follow-up shot, the fight was called 3 minutes and 24 seconds before the opening round. We couldn't get enough of Nelson, so here we have another of him. A fight with Mirko Cro Cop was another testament to Big Country's knockout ability. Mirko was all but dominant. With high kicks and a barrage of punches, Roy Nelson showed excellent chin handling those shots. But towards the end of round 2, he had him on canvas and returned those punches. Mirko was in a difficult position. With Nelson on top and a barrage of punches and some elbows, the fight would have stopped there if it weren't the end of round 2. However, it continued to a third round where Cro Cop looked almost overwhelmed. Gone was the confidence, and now Big Country was chasing him like a ghost. While responding to a takedown attempt, Mirko tried his takedown, which only resulted in Big Country on his back again. With heavy punches, everybody could see that it was over. Heavy punches and it was over. And there it goes, the belly rub after a satisfying TKO. Our next fight is even more unbelievable. Mark Hunt made his name in combat sports with a quick knockout of Chit Congo at UFC 144. Both men were excellent kickboxers, but many believed Congo's grappling skills were to be feared. As for his physique, Congo had well-toned muscles and an 8-inch reach disadvantage. However, all of this proved ineffective in the ring. Congo attempted just one takedown that Hunt countered. From there, Hunt was able to control the stand-up easily. Eventually, Hunt landed some heavy punches, putting Congo down. The referee had to step in to stop the fight. It was a surprisingly one-sided fight, especially considering Congo was the favorite going into it. And no fat guy discussion is complete without Butterbean. The legendary knockout machine, Butterbean Esh, was far more than an entertainer, though he sometimes called himself just that. However, looks can be deceptive, and nobody proved it more right than Butterbean. He was already on a winning streak and had no loss. The combination looked weird. A well-built, athletic-looking Doe Norris shared the ring with Eric Esch. Butterbean did take some punches in round 1, but towards the end of round 2, Butterbean unleashed a barrage of punches, hitting everywhere. He outclassed Doug Norris and left it on canvas. What a moment of glory for Butterbean. Doug Norris definitely needed some medical assistance. If you need more doses of cuteness, we have Aurigel next. Aurigeli was the real Kung Fu Panda in MMA. Road FC 32 made their return to China, where Aurigeli was facing another giant in the form of Bob the Beast Sapp. Bob Sapp is a mixed martial arts veteran looking like an incredible Hulk. The chubby Aurigeli was no match to Bob Sapp as far as the muscle goes. The discrepancy was obvious, but what followed was unbelievable. A muscular Bob Sapp was beaten like a schoolboy at the beefy hands of Aurigeli. While Sapp appeared to be entering an exchange with his opponent early on, Aurigeli left him baffled with punch after punch until Sapp was totally shattered on canvas. It was unbelievable how Sapp was on the canvas in half a minute. It looks like all his time in the gym went to waste. That leads us to Huggy Bear. Chris Barnett, aka Huggy Bear, is an ultra showman with his taekwondo skills, dance numbers, and spectacular strikes. A fighter of his physique, he isn't believed to be spinning or throwing kicks, but Chris Barnett can pull it up like normal. With back-to-back knockouts, Huggy Bear sealed his supremacy and proved what fat bellies are capable of. His knockout at Inoki Genome Fight 2 to Travis Weaf was memorable. Barnett was on his back, sending punch after punch until the referee came to rescue him. Even the muscular Weaf was left devastated by a flabby belly. That leads us to our last upset. The physical discrepancy between the two fighters was too obvious. As compared to the muscular Gideon Ogaba, Ismail Lazar was chubby and short, like he spends more time on the couch than in the gym. But in the ring, instead of seeing Gideon Ogaba in action, what we saw was the opposite. Ismail was in action with high kicks and blows. But just before 2 minutes and 34 seconds of the first round, Ogaba was almost knocked out. But he was up and ready for more. No doubt that shook his confidence, and that nearly triggered Ismail into firing some more thunderous shots. The powerful punches kept coming, and Ogaba was almost staggering in the ring. And there he had it, just one big left hand, and Ogaba was flat against the canvas. Seeing a muscular beast thrown that way by a big belly was mouth-opening. Ogaba was lying in the middle of the ring, lifeless, and everyone was concerned that he was right. These potbellies showed the fight lovers that they were much more than entertaining teddy bears. Muscles or fat, anything can work in the ring. It is all the game skill, presence of mind, and the fortitude to wait for the right moment. The raw power stored in these beefy arms is more to be feared than taken lightly. If you like these fat guy performances, watch our first episode with similar stunning knockouts. In the meantime, never judge a book by its cover. Drop a comment below and tell us which one is your favorite knockout in this video.